When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at, they change. Really take that in for a moment. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Yet there's a depth to this truth that once you grasp it, can shift the entire way you experience your life. What if I told you that the only thing holding you back from peace, from joy, from your dreams wasn't the world around you, but how you're choosing to see it? Now, I know you might be saying, but Wayne, the problems I'm dealing with are real. Bills are piling up, relationships are tense, work is overwhelming. I can't just ignore those things, and you're right. I'm not here to tell you to deny reality. I'm here to remind you that reality is flexible. Let that sink in. Reality is flexible. It's still there, but you're seeing it differently. That's shift. That's the power of your perspective at work. Here's the secret: when you choose to look for what's right instead of what's wrong, you're tapping into a reservoir of positivity that's always available to you. You begin to unlock this superpower, this ability to shape your reality through the lens you're looking through. Now, let me share a story. Years ago, I met a woman named Jane. Jane had been through a lot. She lost her job, was in a painful breakup, and felt her health declining. She told me, "Wayne, I feel like life is against me. No matter what I do, I just can't catch a break." And I looked at her and said, "Jane, what if instead of asking, 'Why is this happening to me?' you asked, 'What is this teaching me?'" She paused. I could see her mind working, opening, reaching for something new. A month later, Jane wrote to me. She told me that she'd begun to see each challenge as a teacher, not a tormentor. She started looking at every difficulty as a way to grow, to become stronger, to find resilience. And she told me that in doing so, she felt lighter. The world hadn't changed, her job didn't magically reappear, her relationship didn't mend overnight, but she changed. And because she changed, her experience of life transformed. When we talk about positivity, I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm not talking about ignoring pain or pretending everything's perfect. I'm talking about choosing to see the potential in everything that happens to you. Because every experience has something to offer if you're willing to look for it. Here's a little exercise for you. Right now, I want you to bring to mind something that's been weighing on you, a problem, a challenge, a worry. Got it? Good. Now take a deep breath and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What part of me is being called to grow through this? Sometimes the very thing we think is here to break us is actually here to build us. You're a creator, a sculptor of your own reality. Every single day, with every thought, every choice, you're carving out the life you live in. It's your masterpiece. And the tool you hold in your hand is perspective. The way you choose to see the world is the chisel that shapes your life. And this isn't just about thinking positive thoughts. This is about recognizing that you're never a victim of circumstance. You are always, always a creator of your experience. Let me say that again because it's so important. You are the creator of your experience. Imagine for a moment that life is a movie and you're not just the main character, you're also the director. You're deciding how to frame each scene. You can focus on the drama, the pain, the struggle, or you can zoom out, take a wider shot, and see the growth, the strength, the courage that's unfolding within you. Here's something I want you to remember: the universe is a mirror. It reflects back to you the energy you bring to it. If you're looking at life through a lens of scarcity, fear, or resentment, that's what you'll see reflected back. But if you look through a lens of abundance, trust, and gratitude, suddenly the world feels different. It becomes brighter, more welcoming. Doors that seemed locked begin to open. People that seemed distant become warm and kind. This is why positivity isn't just a mindset, it's a superpower. When you shift to a positive perspective, you're not just changing your own experience, you're influencing the energy around you. You're radiating a vibration that others can feel, that circumstances respond to. And look, we all get caught up sometimes in the struggles of life. We all feel frustrated, anxious, overwhelmed. But the key here is to catch yourself, to pause and say, wait a minute, how am I choosing to look at this? Because that choice right there is where your power lies. There's an ancient story that goes like this. Two monks were traveling down a road when they came across a huge boulder blocking their path. One monk, frustrated, started complaining, "This is just my luck. Every time I try to get somewhere, there's always something in my way." The other monk looked at the boulder, smiled, and said, "Ah, an opportunity to grow stronger." Then he leaned down, pushed against the boulder, and slowly moved it aside. You see, the boulder was the same for both of them, but their perspectives completely different. So the question I'll leave you with is this: what are the boulders in your life that you're seeing as obstacles? How can you start to see them as opportunities? Remember, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at, they change. And when you change, everything changes. So today, choose to look at your life through the eyes of possibility, wonder, and gratitude. Let your perspective be the magic that transforms not only your world, but the worlds of everyone around you. Your thoughts are magnets, attract what you want, not what you fear. Let's dive into that, because this truth holds the key to unlocking a life filled with abundance, peace, and purpose. Now think about it. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, it's like you're sending out an invitation to the universe. It's like you're saying, bring me more of this, and here's the catch: the universe doesn't differentiate between what you want and what you don't want. It responds to the energy you put out, plain and simple. So if your thoughts are filled with worry, fear, doubt, guess what? You're inviting more of those things into your life. You're pulling them in like a magnet. But here's the magic: just as easily you can flip that magnet. You can turn it around to attract what you truly want. Imagine filling your mind with thoughts of love, thoughts of joy, thoughts of limitless possibility. You imagine what you'd attract then. It's not some far-off dream. This is a power that lives within you right now in this very moment. You just have to decide to use it. Let's get real for a second. How many times have you found yourself stuck in a cycle of worry? Maybe it's about money or health or a relationship. You start thinking about all the things that could go wrong, and before you know it, you're in a full-blown spiral, imagining every worst-case scenario. But here's the thing: those thoughts aren't harmless. They're seeds. Every thought you think is like a seed you're planting in the soil of your mind. And just like any seed, it grows. If you plant a seed of fear, you're going to get more fear. If you plant the seed of scarcity, you're going to feel that lack everywhere in your life. But what if instead you planted seeds of abundance, seeds of faith, seeds of gratitude? Just imagine that for a second. Every time a worry comes up, you replace it with a thought of trust, of possibility. You say to yourself, something beautiful is unfolding here. I don't know what it is yet, but I trust that it's good, and you let that be the seed you plant. Here's a little story for you. I once met a man who had been through so many hardships, financial troubles, relationship struggles, health scares. He told me, "Wayne, I feel like life is just out to get me. No matter what I do, I can't catch a break." And I asked him, "What's the story you keep telling yourself?" He looked at me a little confused. "What do you mean?" he asked. "What story are you holding in your mind? Because that story, that's your magnet." And that's when he realized he'd been telling himself the same story over and over. I'm unlucky. Life is hard. Nothing works out for me. That was the magnet he'd been carrying around, drawing in all the things he didn't want. But the moment he saw that, something clicked. He decided to change his story. He started telling himself, I am open to good things. Life is working for me. I am worthy of abundance. And you know what? Bit by bit, his life started to change. Opportunities he hadn't noticed before started showing up. People were kinder to him. He felt lighter, happier. Nothing about the world changed, but everything about his energy did. You see, our minds are so powerful. They're like these incredible machines capable of creating worlds, and the world they create depends on the fuel we give them, our thoughts. So here's a question for you. What kind of world are you creating with your thoughts? What are you inviting into your life? Are you pulling in what you want, or are you pulling in what you fear? Take a moment right now, close your eyes, and just imagine yourself standing in front of a field. It's vast, it's open, it's waiting. In your hand, you're holding a handful of seeds, and each seed is a thought. Now, ask yourself, what do I want to plant here? Because the thoughts you plant today are the experiences you'll walk through tomorrow. Here's a powerful truth that I want you to really feel. You are the gardener of your own life. No one else. Not your parents, not your past, not your circumstances, you. And every single day you get to choose what you plant. You get to decide what you want to grow. And this isn't about suppressing negative thoughts or pretending everything's perfect. No, it's about awareness. It's about noticing when fear or doubt or anger shows up and saying, I see you. You acknowledge it, and then you let it go, and in its place you plant something new. You plant a thought of gratitude, a thought of peace, a thought of love, because those thoughts, they're magnets for everything you truly want. Here's an exercise for you. When you wake up tomorrow morning, before you even get out of bed, take a moment to set your intention. Say to yourself today, I am a magnet for love, for joy, for abundance. Feel that truth sink in. Imagine yourself attracting all those things into your life. See it in your mind, feel it in your heart, and watch what happens. Watch how people respond to you, how opportunities seem to find you. Because when you shift your energy, the world around you can't help but respond. Let me leave you with one last thought. Everything you want is already on its way to you. The love, the success, the peace, it's all right there waiting for you to let it in. And the only thing standing between you and those things? The energy you're sending out. So be conscious of that energy. Be aware of what you're attracting. You are powerful beyond measure. Your thoughts are magnets. They're drawing to you every experience, every encounter, every blessing. So let those thoughts be filled with love. Let them be filled with hope. Plant seeds of joy, of trust, of gratitude. And watch as your life blossoms into something beautiful. Imagine this, you're standing at a crossroads holding onto a heavy bag filled with what ifs. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? What if they don't accept me? These what ifs can weigh us down, keep us rooted to a spot we're longing to move beyond. But here's the truth you may not have considered. When you release that bag of what ifs, you open yourself up to the light of possibility. What's in that light? Freedom. Freedom from fear, from doubt, from those inner chains we place on ourselves. Every time we let go of a what if, we create more space within us, more space for hope, for creativity, for transformation. Because here's the thing about positive thinking, it isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything's perfect. No, it's about making room for growth, for opportunity, for the realization that you are capable of more than you know. Imagine you're at the edge of a vast field at sunrise. The air is fresh, the sky is a canvas of possibility. You can step forward into that light, but only if you release the what ifs holding you back. Can you feel that? That space where the possibilities feel endless. Positive thinking, my friends, is like planting seeds in that field, seeds of potential, seeds of new beginnings. And when you nurture those seeds with belief, they grow into the reality you want to live. We all carry around these invisible weights, regrets about the past, anxieties about the future, expectations placed on us by others. But I want to remind you of something essential. Those weights are only as real as you allow them to be. Positive thinking is the act of setting those weights down, of choosing to release them so you can step freely into the light of what's possible. Now think about this. If you spent less time worrying about what if and more time saying, I am ready, how would your life look? How would you feel? Imagine the energy you'd reclaim, the vitality that would surge through you. I've met so many people over the years who tell me, Wayne, I want to change, I want to grow, but I feel so weighed down, and I always ask them, what are you holding on to that you could let go of? There's a kind of magic that happens when you decide to let go. And I'm not talking about an overnight transformation where suddenly everything's perfect. I'm talking about a gradual, gentle shift where you start seeing the potential in each moment rather than fearing it. When you release the weight of what ifs, you make room for what can be. And that's where the magic of positive thinking truly comes alive. It's not a mindset of denial, it's a mindset of possibility. You might be thinking, Wayne, this sounds wonderful, but how do I actually release the what ifs? Start by recognizing them. You can't release what you don't acknowledge. Write them down, look at them, see them for what they are, thoughts, nothing more. They are thoughts that you have the power to change, to let go, to rewrite. Here's a little exercise. I want you to take a deep breath. Close your eyes and imagine every what if you've been carrying around. Feel the weight of them. Maybe they're fears of failure, fears of rejection, fears that you won't be enough. Now, with each exhale, imagine releasing one of those fears, one of those doubts. Feel yourself getting lighter. Picture yourself standing there in that field of possibility, free from those weights, free to move forward in any direction you choose. When you make space like this, you're telling the universe, I'm ready. You're opening yourself up to opportunities that were always there, but that you couldn't see because you were too focused on the limitations. And here's something beautiful to consider. Every thought you have is a choice. You get to choose what stays and what goes. So if you're going to spend your energy thinking, why not focus it on what lifts you up rather than what pulls you down? Now think about the people in your life who inspire you, who seem to walk through life with a sense of peace and purpose. I'll bet they're not carrying around a bag of what ifs. They've made the decision to let go of fear and doubt. They've chosen to walk in the light of possibility. And that's a choice available to you right here, right now. Let's talk about doubt for a moment. Doubt is one of the heaviest what ifs we carry. It tells us we're not ready, not capable, not worthy. But doubt, my friends, is a story you're telling yourself. And you have the power to rewrite that story. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself you are a creator. Every single day, with every thought, you're creating your reality. Why create a reality rooted in doubt when you could create one rooted in belief and possibility, in the idea that you're here to do something meaningful? Here's something I've learned in my own journey. Every time I released a fear, a doubt, a what if, I felt a little more like my true self. It's as if each what if is a layer that hides our authenticity, our true potential. And every layer we release brings us closer to who we really are. So ask yourself right now, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What if, just for today, you decided to release the need to have everything figured out? What if you let go of the fear of making mistakes and embrace the idea that every experience is part of your growth? What would that feel like? Remember, when you release the weight of what ifs, you're not just changing your mindset, you're opening up your life, you're inviting in all those things you've been dreaming of but felt were out of reach. And they're not out of reach, they're just waiting for you to make space for them. Positive thinking creates that space. It's like clearing out a room that's been cluttered with boxes of old doubts and fears. Once you clear it, you have room to create, to grow, to transform. And that's when the real journey begins. So as you go through your day, notice when the what ifs come up. Notice when doubt tries to creep in. And instead of carrying it with you, pause, take a deep breath, and let it go. Because you don't need to know all the answers. You don't need to have everything figured out. You only need to believe in your ability to step into the light, to trust that what's waiting for you is far greater than anything you've left behind. When you release the weight of what ifs, you're not just lightening your load, you're stepping into a life where anything is possible. And that, my friends, is where the true power of positive thinking resides. It's a freedom unlike anything else, the freedom to be, to create, to live fully. So let go, step forward, and embrace the light of possibility. Imagine this with me. For a moment, your mind is a garden. Yes, your very thoughts are like seeds, and each one you plant will take root and grow, nourishing or depleting you depending on what you're choosing to cultivate. Think of the mind this way: whatever seeds you plant, you're going to harvest. Are you planting seeds of love, kindness, self-belief, or seeds of fear, doubt, and resentment? Because one thing is for sure: whatever you plant in the garden of your mind, it's going to grow. Imagine this garden. It's a beautiful place, full of life, full of color. But like any garden, it's only as healthy as what you put into it, and only as vibrant as the care you give it. You see, a garden doesn't tend itself, it requires mindful attention. Weeds don't need an invitation, they find their way in, don't they? But flowers, those take intention. Those take care. You have to choose to plant them, to water them, to nourish them every single day. So what are the thoughts you're planting? Every thought you think is a seed. Are you nurturing seeds that bring you peace, strength, joy? Or are you letting those pesky weeds, thoughts of worry, of self-doubt creep in and take over? Let's get real. For so many of us, it's easy to slip into patterns of thinking that don't serve us, thoughts that hold us back. I'm not good enough, I don't deserve success, I can't. Those thoughts become the weeds that choke out the flowers, the weeds that take up space where something beautiful could have bloomed. And the truth is, those thoughts are only as powerful as you allow them to be. Here's a little exercise. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself walking through your own mind as if it were a garden. Take a look around. What do you see? You see vibrant flowers blooming with self-love, gratitude, and hope. Or do you see tangled vines of fear, thorns of regret, maybe even patches where nothing seems to be growing at all? Now imagine this: you have the power right now to decide what stays and what goes. You can pull those weeds, you can plant something new. And guess what? You don't have to wait for the right time to start tending to this garden. You can start right now. When you cultivate positivity, you'll be amazed at what blossoms in your life. It's not just about having happy thoughts either. Positivity is a way of seeing the world, of choosing to focus on what's possible, what's beautiful, what's inspiring, even in the midst of challenges. Because let's be honest, we all face tough times. But when your mind is a well-cultivated garden, when positivity is the soil in which you grow your dreams, you become resilient. You can weather any storm because your roots are deep, your foundation strong. Now think about this every single day. You have the power to decide what kind of thoughts you're going to plant. You get to choose your garden. If you plant thoughts of gratitude, you're going to experience more things to be grateful for. When you plant thoughts of abundance, life has a way of sending more abundance your way. Why? Because your mind will be open to receiving it. You're training your mind to look for what's good, what's uplifting, what's possible. There's an old saying that goes, the grass is greener where you water it. You've heard this before, right? But what does it mean for you? It means that whatever part of your mind you choose to nurture, that's the part that's going to grow. You want more joy? Water the seeds of joy. You want more peace? Nurture thoughts that bring you peace. Now, I'm not saying that this is easy. It takes daily commitment, it takes patience. But imagine what's possible when you start making that choice. Imagine waking up in the morning and instead of reaching for your phone, you take a moment to plant a thought of gratitude. You say, thank you for this new day. Just that one thought can change the course of your day because you're setting the tone. You're choosing to begin with a positive seed, and that will grow. Here's a little experiment you can try this week. Every morning, before you start your day, plant one positive thought. Just one. It could be something simple like, I am worthy of all the good that life has to offer. Or maybe, today I choose peace. Hold that thought in your mind, water it with your attention, let it take root, and watch what happens. You'll find that over time, these positive thoughts will start to outgrow the weeds. They'll fill your mind with a sense of possibility, a sense of purpose, a sense of joy. And as you go about your day, be mindful of the weeds that try to sneak in. Maybe it's a negative comment from someone, maybe it's a self-critical thought. When those weeds show up, don't let them stay. You have the power to pluck them out. Replace them with thoughts that nourish you, thoughts that bring you peace. Remember, the garden of your mind is always growing something. The question is, are you consciously choosing what's growing there, or are you letting it grow wild and unchecked? When you take the time to nurture positivity, you're not just planting a thought, you're planting the foundation for a life filled with joy, fulfillment, and love. So today, make a choice. Choose to tend to the garden of your mind with love, with care, with intention. Plant thoughts that uplift, empower, and inspire you, and watch as your life blossoms in ways you never could have imagined. Because the truth is, you have the power to create a garden that's more beautiful, more vibrant, more alive than you've ever dreamed possible. All it takes is the courage to start planting the right seeds. Imagine just for a moment what it would feel like to truly believe that you deserve everything your heart dreams of. Not just to wish for it, not just to hope for it, but to know deep in your bones that you deserve a life that fills you with joy, with abundance, with purpose. That belief, that simple but profound shift, is the difference between feeling lost in a sea of if-onlys and stepping into a life where everything aligns because you are aligned with it. Now, here's the truth that I want you to really take in tonight. Positivity isn't just about saying nice things or putting on a smile. It's about going deeper. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create the life you want, not just by thinking positively, but by truly believing that you're worthy of it. That's what I'm talking about. If you're just wishing, you're still separate from the dream. But if you believe you deserve it, you're calling it into your life. You're becoming the person who can live that life. So where does that belief start? It starts with one simple decision, the decision to stop doubting your worthiness. Imagine waking up every morning with a deep-seated belief that life is for you, not against you. Feel that. What would your days look like? What choices would you make if you knew without a shadow of a doubt that you deserve all the joy, all the success, all the love in the world? The truth is, you'll never live a life greater than what you believe you're worthy of. If you believe you're only worth the bare minimum, you'll find yourself settling. But if you believe you're worthy of greatness, you'll start to see it show up in your life. Let's go back for a moment to the word deserve. So many people shy away from it. They think it sounds selfish or entitled to say, I deserve this. But think about this: if you believe that life itself is a gift, then wouldn't it make sense that the best way to honor that gift is to live it to the fullest? Believing you deserve joy and success isn't about arrogance, it's about alignment. It's about understanding that you are here in this life to grow, to expand, to thrive. There's an old story about a beggar who sat on a box at the edge of a road asking passersby for food and money. Every day he'd sit there begging for scraps until one day a traveler stopped and asked, "What's inside that box?" The beggar said, "Oh, I don't know. It's just a box I've been sitting on for years." Curious, the traveler helped him pry it open, and inside the beggar found gold enough to change his entire life. Do you see the power in that? He was sitting on treasure the whole time, but because he didn't believe he had it, he never looked inside. In the same way, so many of us go through life sitting on our own treasure, looking to the world to give us a better life, not realizing that what we need is already within us. When you believe you deserve more, you're opening that box within you. You're saying, I am worthy of what life has to offer, and the moment you say that, you're inviting joy, abundance, and fulfillment to come and find you. It's like sending out a signal to the universe, and believe me, the universe always responds. Now, maybe you're sitting there thinking, I don't know, Wayne, I've made mistakes, I've been through things, I've let people down, I've let myself down. Let me tell you something, none of those things make you any less deserving. Mistakes, setbacks, losses, they're all just part of the journey. They don't define your worth. They don't diminish the fact that you, right here, right now, are worthy of a life that fills your heart. You're still that treasure box, and nothing you've done or been through can change the value of what's inside. Think of it like this. You don't see a baby learning to walk and think, oh, you fell. Guess walking just isn't for you. No. You know that falling is part of the process. You know that child is worthy of every step, every stumble, every triumph. Well, in that same way, life is telling you that your falls don't make you any less deserving. They're simply steps on the path. And when you know that, you stop letting those falls determine your worth. You stop letting them hold you back. You begin to truly believe that every dream, every ounce of joy you want is something you deserve. Let's try a little exercise together. Right now, I want you to close your eyes and picture a version of yourself who believes without hesitation that they deserve every good thing in life. This version of you wakes up in the morning, looks in the mirror, and feels excitement, not dread. They move through the day with confidence, not self-doubt. See this version of yourself. Feel the energy of knowing you're worthy. Really let it sink in. Now here's the magic: that version of you isn't someone far off in the future. That version of you already exists within you. You just need to embrace it. You need to take that belief that you deserve happiness, that you deserve success, and make it part of who you are right now. And I know sometimes it's hard to believe you're worthy when life seems to throw challenge after challenge your way. But here's what I want you to remember: life isn't testing your worthiness, it's helping you discover it. Those challenges, they're like fires refining gold. They're there to help you peel back the layers of doubt and fear so you can see the light within you more clearly. So you can finally say, I deserve this life I'm creating. Listen, I want you to understand something very powerful. What you believe shapes what you become. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, you'll find yourself settling for less. You'll hold back. You'll be afraid to reach for more. But if you start telling yourself, I am worthy, you start to see new possibilities. You start to say yes to opportunities. You start to surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. And little by little, you build a life that reflects the belief that you deserve joy, that you deserve success. So here's my invitation to you: let go of the doubts that tell you otherwise. Let go of the voice that says, who am I to live my dreams? The truth is, who are you not to? When you were born, no one handed you a list of reasons why you're not good enough. Those doubts, they came from the outside. And the good news is, you have the power to let them go. You have the power to replace them with a deep, unwavering belief that you are worthy of a life that excites and inspires you. From this moment on, I want you to start seeing yourself as someone who is deserving. Every time doubt creeps in, every time you hear that voice saying, I can't, or I'm not enough, stop it in its tracks. Replace it with, I am worthy, feel it, believe it. Because the moment you truly believe that you deserve joy, success, love, everything changes. You're no longer just wishing for a better life, you're living in a way that attracts it. You're stepping into the flow of life, inviting good things to come to you because you know they belong to you. And when you do that, watch out. Watch as doors begin to open. Watch as people who resonate with your light start showing up in your life. Watch as situations that used to feel heavy suddenly feel lighter. This isn't just positivity, this is powerful, life-changing truth. When you believe you're worthy, the world reflects that back to you. So tonight, don't just wish for a better life. Don't just sit around hoping things will change. Step into the belief that you deserve it, that it's your birthright. Because once you do, there's no limit to the beauty, the joy, the fulfillment that can come your way. You are not a product of your circumstances, you are a product of your decisions. Think about that. Truly let it sink in. Every single day, you are deciding how you're going to live, what thoughts you'll dwell on, and which beliefs you'll allow to shape your life. And here's the beauty of it, you have the power to choose thoughts that serve you and let go of everything that no longer lifts you. We're talking about more than just positive thinking here. This is about tapping into the incredible transformative power of choice, the choice to not let circumstances dictate your mindset, but to make the conscious decision that no matter what happens around you, you are in charge of what goes on inside. Let me ask you this, how often do you find yourself blaming circumstances? It's an easy trap to fall into. Maybe you think, if only I had more money, or if I'd had a different childhood, or if this person would just change, then I'd be happy. But what if I told you that's an illusion? Because the truth is, circumstances aren't what define your life. They're not even what shape you. What truly defines you is how you respond to them. Imagine this, think about a seed. You could plant it in fertile soil, give it sunlight, water, and all the right conditions. But if that seed doesn't decide to break through its shell, if it doesn't decide to grow, then all the circumstances in the world won't matter. It's the same with you. You can have all the right resources, all the opportunities, but if you don't make the decision to grow, to choose thoughts that nourish you, then those circumstances don't have the power to change your life. And here's the real beauty, it works both ways. You might be planted in rocky soil right now. You might be feeling the weight of limitations and challenges pressing down on you. But if you decide to grow, if you make that internal choice to rise up, you will break through. Because ultimately, you're not at the mercy of what happens to you. You're shaped by what you choose in every moment. Here's a powerful exercise I want you to try. Right now, think of a circumstance in your life that's been challenging, something that's been weighing on you, maybe even making you feel stuck. Got it. Now ask yourself, what am I choosing to believe about this situation? Am I seeing it as a roadblock or as an opportunity to grow? Am I letting it pull me down, or can I use it as a stepping stone to rise higher? Because here's a profound truth, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Even those things that seem hard, unfair, or painful, if you decide to see them as lessons, if you choose to find meaning in them, they become part of your journey toward becoming the person you're meant to be. Remember, every experience you encounter is either lifting you or teaching you. Every circumstance has something valuable to offer if you're open to seeing it. And here's the secret, letting go of what no longer serves you isn't about ignoring reality. It's about recognizing when a thought, a belief, or even a relationship has finished its role in your life. When you can thank it for what it's taught you and release it, you're creating space for something greater to come in. There's a great story about a man who was walking in the desert carrying a bag of rocks. At first, the rocks didn't feel heavy, he barely noticed the weight. But as he walked, they grew heavier and heavier. Finally exhausted, he realized he didn't need them. He began dropping them one by one, and with each rock he let go, he felt lighter, freer, until he could walk with ease. Now, I want you to think about the thoughts, the beliefs, or maybe even the people in your life that are weighing you down. Are they lifting you, or are they keeping you stuck? Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you small? Because in every moment, you have a choice to carry those heavy rocks or to set them down and let yourself move forward. This is where the power of decision becomes your superpower. Each time you choose to let go of what no longer serves you, each time you choose a thought that lifts you, you're creating a life that reflects that power. And this is something anyone can do starting right now. Let me give you a practical example. I once met a woman named Sarah who had been through a lot. She'd been in a series of toxic relationships, one after the other. And she told me, Wayne, I just keep ending up with the wrong people. It's like I'm destined for this. And I looked at her and said, Sarah, what if you started making different choices? What if you decided right now to let go of those beliefs about yourself that you're destined for toxic relationships and instead chose a thought that serves you? She paused. It was like a light bulb turned on. And in that moment, she made a decision. She decided to believe she was worthy of a healthy, loving relationship. And over time, as she held onto that belief, her life began to change. You see, when you make a decision that serves you, you are planting seeds that will grow into a new reality. When you choose to believe in your own worth, when you choose to see obstacles as opportunities, when you choose thoughts that elevate you, you're no longer living passively at the mercy of your circumstances. You're creating your life from the inside out. And it's important to remember that letting go of what no longer lifts you isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily practice, a lifelong commitment to yourself. It's waking up every morning and deciding, today, I will only entertain thoughts that serve my highest good. And when those old thoughts creep in, thoughts that tell you you're not enough or that you can't, recognize them for what they are, remnants of a past that no longer belongs to you. Now, some of you might be thinking, Wayne, it's not that easy to just let go, and I hear you. But here's what I want you to consider: holding on to thoughts that keep you small, that weigh you down, is a choice. It might be a habit, it might feel familiar, but it's still a choice. And at any moment, you can choose to let them go. You can choose thoughts that support the life you want to create. Letting go isn't about pretending challenges don't exist. It's about deciding that no challenge will define you. It's about realizing that you have within you an inner freedom, an inner strength that can rise above anything. And each time you exercise that power, you become stronger, freer, more aligned with the incredible person you're here to be. So as we sit here together, I want you to do something for me. I want you to take a deep breath, and with that breath, imagine that you're inhaling possibility, light, expansion. And as you exhale, let go of anything that's been weighing you down, any thought, any belief, any memory that no longer serves you. Just let it go. Remember this: your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant, there will grow. And you have the power to plant seeds of love, seeds of peace, seeds of limitless potential. But you also have to tend to that garden. Pull out the weeds of doubt, fear, and resentment. Let them go and create space for what you truly want to flourish. Each day, choose thoughts that lift you. Make decisions that reflect your worth. Decide right now to embrace the power of positive thinking, not as wishful thinking, but as a conscious choice, a declaration of your right to create a life that reflects your highest self. And remember, you are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of the choices you make in every moment. Choose wisely. Choose thoughts that lift, that serve, that celebrate the magnificent being you are. Now go forward, empowered with the knowledge that no matter what happens around you, you are in control of what happens within. And that, my friends, is the most profound freedom of all. Thanks for joining me today. If you found value in this discussion on topic, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more motivational content. Share your thoughts in the comments below.